Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Wealthy Place. I am excited having you around today and coming into your space. Thank you for allowing me that access to your space. Please get whoever is around you and come around your device because we're going to discuss some exciting things as usual. Okay, so today we want to continue from where we left off last time, and that is talking about the principle of priorities. We're looking at biblical principles of wealth creation, and we stopped at the principle of priorities. So that principle tells us that there are certain things that are more important than others, and we've looked at that. Importance is relative. It depends on people's value systems, things that they value. So what A calls important may not be what B calls important. But we've looked at all of that, so we may not dwell on that a lot today. So going further, we looked at some things that are more important than cash, paper money. So we borrowed a leaf from Dr. Cosmos Madoka of Coscharis, but then included one more. And the first thing that is more important than money, paper money, that we looked at is faith, the ability to cause things to be, to bring things into existence. So we looked at the two dimensions of the expression of faith, and we're going to look at these two dimensions as separate principles. Then we looked at credibility. That is another thing that is more important than paper money. So credibility is the ability or the capacity I develop in myself to be trusted or believed. It is easier for somebody to give something to somebody he or she trusts, particularly loans. So it is easier to give loans to somebody you can trust. This person, you can trust him that he's going to return it, or you can trust him that he will use the loan you are giving him or her for that particular purpose. It is not when you give him or her loan for something, the person goes to squander it. You've given the person loan for business, the person jets out to a hotel and squanders the entire thing, and then comes back again to tell you some cock and bull stories, and probably it has occurred over and over again. After a while, the person loses credibility, and then the person can no longer be entrusted with certain things. Then we also looked at credible relationships. Somebody does not have, but has somebody that has and can be relied on. And so you discover that many times there are a lot of people, they are not necessarily rich, but they are rich because they have rich people around them. And those rich people are credible enough. They can lend him their credibility. So once somebody is in the midst of rich people or has credible relationships around the person can never be poor, particularly if those credible relationships are wealthy people. The person cannot be poor because this thing flows. They are called strategic relationships, and that's why we mentioned it last time. If a rich man gives you money, according to Dr. Cosmos, he has deceived you. He has deceived you. What you need to do anytime you meet a rich man is not to ask him for money. Even if you are hungry, you don't ask him for money. Even if you don't have anything, your bank account is zero, don't ask him for money. Ask him for access. Let him keep his doors open, that anytime you call, he will answer you. Anytime you come, he will attend to you. That is very powerful. It's more powerful than just giving you money. Okay, so we looked at integrity. Integrity is doing what you said you will do. Integrity is being one with your word. You say something and then you do it. We've looked at that. Doing the right thing even when nobody is watching you. So you see, that's integrity for you. So even in the darkest corner, in the remotest corner, the person still does the right thing. Even when the person knows that nobody will discover, the person still does the right thing. That is integrity. Then we looked at godly character. So these are more important than paper money. Godly character. And so we define character like alphabet. Anywhere you take 2, it is still 2. You won't take 2 to the UK and it becomes 3. You won't take 2 to the US and it becomes 3. You won't take 2 to to Australia and it becomes 3. You won't take 2 to Ajegunle and it becomes 3. Anywhere you find a character 2, that is what it is. That is why somebody with godly character does not change like shifting shadows. The person does not dwindle or falter in his or her standards. So anywhere the person goes, the person maintains the right standards. The person does not violate the right standards because the person wants to fit into a certain culture or system or whatever it is. Standards are standards and should not be violated. Anybody who violates standards does not have character. That's the point. It doesn't have good character. Okay, we also looked at competence. Competence is more important than paper money because competence is being good at what you do. So it is not enough to do something. Be good at what you do. You are a barber, be good at barbing. You are a hairstylist, be good at that. You are whatever. You are an Okada rider, be good riding Okada. You are a cab driver, be good riding your cab. Whatever it is, you are a keke driver, you are a shuttle driver, anything you doing, you are a teacher, be good teaching. You are a lecturer, be good lecturing. Let students have pleasant memories of you. If you're a teacher or a lecturer, let the pupils, if you're a primary school teacher, let the pupils have pleasant memories of you. These things are more important than paper money. And that is why if you see somebody who is good at what he or she does, the person attracts a lot of clients. You know, I'm speaking to believers in particular. Every believer should acquire skills and excel in what they do. Because sometimes some believers think that believing or being a Christian is now a cloak for laziness and indolence. No. It is even an advantage for a believer if he has the enlightenment that comes from God to improve markedly, actually to start doing things with excellent results. So as a believer who is a carpenter, excel in your carpentry work. A believer who works with upholstery, excel in that upholstery work. Whatever it is you find your hand doing, the Bible says, do it with all your might, all your strength. For in the grave where you are going, there's no more work. So excel in your tasks. Jesus, in that parable he gave of the talents, when the master came back, he said, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Good, competent, faithful, character. Good and faithful servant. These 2 things are very important. Then after competence, you now have cash. That's paper money. I want to bring a dimension of priorities to us right now. The second dimension of priorities I want to bring to us is what we learned in economics called opportunity cost. You know, many times people don't factor that in when it comes to building or creating wealth. Opportunity cost. And amazingly, God has made it in such a way that we learn these things in school. But many times, the things we learn in school, we leave them in school. When we come out, they leave us. They remain in school where we left them. So we face life. We are not able to relate what we learned in school to real life issues. Do you know economics is a powerful course? Now, there are subjects, other subjects that are good, you know, but economics will teach you how to create wealth. For instance, look at opportunity cost. I may not give you a clear definition of opportunity cost, but let me give you an analogy to show you what opportunity cost is. For instance, you want to buy provisions, and then for you buy sugar, you buy milk, and you buy beverage. So you go to the market and you discover that the beverage you want to buy contains sugar. Therefore, the money for beverage, if you buy beverage and buy sugar, you are buying 2 things. It's a waste of money. So you leave off sugar and buy beverage because sugar only contains sugar. Beverage contains sugar and other things. So if you buy beverage, you have also bought sugar. Therefore, you are using the money for one commodity to buy 2 commodities, thereby saving the money for the other commodity. That is what is called opportunity cost. So you now go to market and buy milk and buy beverage, and then you leave off sugar because beverage already contains sugar. I don't know if you are getting my point, because these things are ways to save money. For instance, Milk, you budgeted 500 naira, let's assume. Then beverage, you budgeted 200 naira. Then sugar, you budgeted 100 naira. So you now discover that beverage has sugar. So you no longer spend 100 naira on sugar. So you save 100 naira because you have used 200 naira to get both sugar and beverage. So you have used one stone to kill two birds. That is how you build. One of the ways you build wealth based on priorities is the same thing. You are trying to build wealth and you buy an SUV, maybe this Sienna or whatever. Don't just use it, drive it and go to work and park it. It's a utility vehicle. When you go to work, get a driver. Let the driver put it on the road and make money for you. So you are doing two things at the same time. While in the office, your Sienna is working for you on the road. It's the same thing with houses. You got a 2-bedroom flat, a 3-bedroom flat, but you need a shop and you don't have money for a shop. Convert one room in your house as a shop. Even if you have a self-con, make it in such a way that in the morning you move your mattress to one corner, set up your office, your workspace, and then begin to work. You have used one rent to get two things, a place of abode and your workstation. These are things that will help us to create wealth. Because if you now get a house and then get an office separately, you will be spending more money. And then spending in that light will not help you have some wealth that you create. Spending that way. So utilize things based on what is called opportunity cost. This is very, very important. Okay, I know right now a lot of people have purchased things that they don't need. There are some items we actually purchased that can do many things for us, but we did not know, or we were ignorant of some of these things. And so we started buying many other items that actually getting one item that can do all of those things could have sufficed. But because we do not know. Now begin to think, next time you want to spend, how can I spend, get one item that will do many things for me at the same time? If I can get that one item, for instance, instead of getting a home theater and all the rest of them, I can get Bluetooth speaker and use my phone, connect it and play music. I mustn't get a home theater. Now that I'm building wealth, I don't start allowing that thing I want to build to be dissipating like that. No, I will finally not build it. He that sows the wind to the wind shall reap the wild wind. I don't sow that way. I conserve this thing, particularly when I'm still building. A time will come. I can now begin to afford whatever I want. I look at something I desire it, I can get it. But when I'm still building it, I must tighten my belt. So that is where priority is coming. Please, I want to give us a challenge now. Before you make another purchase, think thoroughly. Think thoroughly before you buy another item. Think, this item I'm going to buy, is there another one that will do that thing and do many more things that can be done for me? Then go for that one. It will help you to save money. And it will help you a lot. You will thank me for this thing I've just told you now. You will thank me later on. And I want you, just before I go, to go to the comment section and then leave a comment there how the podcasts have helped you. And also, if you have any question, please write them there. We're going to harvest all the questions and we're going to answer the questions on the last Saturday of September. We're going to answer all the questions. Please leave your questions at the comment section. And remember to subscribe to this podcast if you want me to be coming your way every Saturday. Tomorrow is Sunday, and I want to invite you to the Potter's Wheel International Christian Center, 107 Ifite Road, Ifite, Awka, Anambra State, Nigeria, for a phenomenal service. And tomorrow is our communion, prophetic, and healing service. Triple barrel service. You can't afford to miss it. It's at 7 in the morning. Please get your friends with you. We want to see you and you'll be glad you were in service. Till I come your way next week Saturday, keep living in the worldly place. God bless you.